Hello. Welcome to my question of the day. Well, first of all, I introduce myself. I am Sharetha Jackson, and I am on this personal journey. I belong to a close Facebook group, and in that group, we I presented a question of the day. And the purpose of us doing these videos is it's an opportunity for us to share our views, or it's an opportunity for us to share information or knowledge about questions or answer a question that's presented to us. So, the question that our administrator has presented with us today, the question is, it says, do you see other people for who they are, or do you see them for who they are becoming? Now, in my past, when I would meet individuals, I would actually just take a person for who they were. I didn't know, far as prior to my personal development, it was just a matter, I meet a person, they present who they are, and that's who I accept them to be. But it's like now, recently, or since I've been on my personal development, it's more or less like I am able to see individuals for who they could be, or who they aspire to be. But now, one thing that I've noticed is that there's not a lot of people that have the goals or have dreams and aspirations to do something better. Whereas you find more people that are they're caught up in their day-to-day activity, or they're caught up in their daily lives, or maybe they're caught up in the 9 to 5 that they are currently in. And so sometimes when individuals are caught up in their 9 to 5, they don't have further goals or dreams. And I say this to say, because at one point in time in my life, I was like that. That's before I began to realize that I need to take a personal development journey of my own. Whereas, for example, when I was going to college, I was focused on my dreams. I was focused on my aspirations, and at that time, I was just focused on me. I was focused on my goals. I wasn't really looking at what other goals other people have. And so, for me, when I view other people, it was different before I started my personal development journey. Whereas, like I said, I just took people at face value. Did not think about what goals they had. And the reason I say that is because when I was focusing on my journey, or when I was focusing on my goals, that's it. I was focused on my goals. And so it's like, now that I'm on my own personal development journey, I see people for who they can become. But I ran into a situation recently with that, is that I was talking to an individual, and I noticed that this person has a really great voice. They can sing. And so I shared some information with the individual, because I saw the potential. And so I'm talking to this person, and they got defensive. They were more or less like telling me, well, regardless of what you tell me, I'm not going to listen. I'm like, huh? Whereas the information that I've come across is phenomenal. It's amazing. It's so encouraging. I shared with the individual. I told the person, I said, you know what? It would be great if you watch this documentary. And so the person told me, they said, look, they don't listen to other people. It's all based on what they want to do. They don't take advice from other people. They think about what they want to do, and they go with it from there. I was like, okay. So when I saw that particular person was not accepting the advice that I was trying to offer, so I decided to send that message, or send that information through a text message. And so the next time when I talked to the person, or we were in a general conversation, and so they mentioned something that resonated with me, that told me like, oh, okay, hey, you might not have listened to me when I was sharing the information with them, but he did take in the information. So whether did he watch the video, I don't know. So that's not my concern. At least I shared it. So now, individuals who are on the same page as me, yes, I look at who the person that they're becoming. As a matter of fact, I encourage them. I support them. For example, in the closed group that I belong to on Facebook, I share with individuals my stories, or I listen to their stories and I support their stories. And I know, like for example, for myself, I know I'm not at the level, or I'm not at the space that I want to be, but I appreciate within this group, I appreciate those individuals giving me words of encouragement for me to continue doing what I'm striving to do. For example, with me doing videos, like I would like for individuals to see me for the person that I'm desired to be. But I know that there are individuals who don't understand my journey, which it's not meant for everyone to understand my goals, my journey, or my vision. You know, and it's not meant for me to tell everyone, because everyone is not happy for you. And I know that. So I encourage other individuals, if I see that they are striving for something, yes, I encourage them. So yes, I do see people for who they can become, but if they're not accepting or willing to accept the information that I have to share, then I have to back off, because everyone don't have the same vision as me, or everyone don't have the same goals as myself. So like I had mentioned the example, the individual who wasn't accepting, but I can tell, that he began to accept the information when I was sending it to him through text. So I move on to say that, and I also say this, that people that are close to me also, sometimes they don't see the vision. And I say that because I have an example of when I would share with my daughter. I share with my younger daughter, Makai. It was a couple of times I shared with her. Matter of fact, when we were moving, when we were relocating, in the process of relocating, I had the vision of relocating from Michigan. And so I would share with my daughter in 2014 when I told her, I said, yeah, we're moving. And so I had went to California. I had told her when I came back from an interview, I didn't get the job, but I had the goal in my mind of relocating from Michigan to California. But my daughter, she came to me and she said, look, Mom, you told me we were moving. We still haven't moved. And so I realized, I was like, oh my, my children, they don't want to hear about it. They want to see it in action. And so I could not continue to tell my daughter that I was going to do something, or I'm striving for this goal and she didn't see it. So my children, as I continue to share with them the things that I'm going through, they don't necessarily see the vision, and that's other close people that's close to me as well. So not all the time do individuals see your vision. Not all the time do individuals see my vision. So sometimes I just have to take a different approach. Because for the example that I gave about my daughter, when I kept telling her that we were moving, she wasn't seeing the action taken that I was preparing for us to move. So I say that to say, everyone doesn't see the vision that you see about yourself. If you're striving to be someone else, or you're striving to be something else of yourself, so then you're making improvement or making steps to improve yourself to be a better person, then they may still continue to treat you the way that you were. And so with this question, I also go further to say it all boils down to action being taken. So my daughter, she started seeing action, so she was able to start seeing the person that I was trying to become the person that can pick up and move and relocate. So it eventually happened, but that also remind me of, as I continue to strive for my personal development, I wanted to share this information with my children. But when I shared it with them, they were not receiving of the information. Because, for example, when I watched the documentary called The Secret, and I was just so excited. I was so excited. So then I shared this information with my children and had them to watch it. But within the first 30 minutes, they didn't want to watch it no more. So now, during my personal development, instead of me forcing information onto my children, what I do is I present it to them in a way that's more acceptable for them. So the next question, or second part of the question, for our question of the day, it was, how would my relationships be with other people if I look at others who they are to become instead of how they are right now? So how would my relationships be? Well, I don't treat everyone, or I don't approach everyone, or our relationships, I don't treat them as to who they can become. Because sometimes, like I said, the relationship with my children, treating individuals for who they can become, sometimes individuals can be offended. For example, I presented, after I learned additional information, or for example, after I watched The Secret, I tried to share that information. I tried to share it with my children. They watched 30 minutes of it. Okay, then I tried to share it with another individual. When I shared the information with the other individual, when I followed back up with them at a later time, and I was listening. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Did they watch The Secret? Did they watch the documentary? And so that individual told me right away, they were not accepting of it. So not all the time can you, even though you may see potential in people, not all the time are they going to be accepting of it. So for that particular relationship, it got to the point where we would even have difficulty having conversations. So I told this particular person, I said, we're going to have to agree to disagree. Well, they really didn't. They want to argue with me on that, on agreeing to disagree. So it got to the point that, that relationship, I had to put that relationship, I had to back away from the relationship, so to speak. So I don't speak to the person as often. I don't call. And also that relationship is back in my hometown in Michigan. So of course, I don't go back there too often. So that relationship is very limited, because I was trying to explain to the person or show the person that I believe in who they could be, but they got offensive, got defensive with the situation. So that just doesn't work. But when I come across individuals who are on the same page as me, things work out pretty well. But if I see that they're not, I just back up. I don't try to push off what I believe onto other people. Or even if I see potential in this particular individual, I'll share it. But if they're not receptive of it, okay, I'm not going to force information on to a person, because we all are in this journey. Each person have their own journey. Okay. I have my journey, and other individuals, they have their journey. It's up to them if they want to use the information or not. Okay, moving right along. Now, also, myself, I look at myself, as the person that I want to be, or the person that I desire to be, and that is the best version of myself. And for me, I focus on myself. And I learned to focus on myself because this is my journey. This is to better myself. Whereas for many years, I didn't focus on myself. I did come across some information years ago that they say in order for change to happen, you have to change yourself first. I don't have to change myself. But now that I know about personal development, I understand it. Yes, change starts from within first. So I'm basically focused on myself. And couple of years ago, I had wanted to start making a change, and that is I wanted to start doing videos, or I wanted to start doing my YouTube videos. And so I would start and then I wouldn't come back on for a while. So um, recently, or in 2017, I saw this guy named Mike Chavez, and I would see him on videos, and then I would see him again on videos. I would say, okay, now I was pulled into him because I said, wow, that's amazing. He's doing something that I inspired to do and that I had told myself that I was going to do, but I never really did it on a consistent basis. So I continue to encourage myself to do what I want to do, and to be the best version of myself. And that is to inspire other people. That's my goal. So I treat myself like as the person that I desire to be. So it's more or less I focus on myself. And like Ayana Van Zant, she said, it's not being selfish to focus on yourself, it's being self-full. And I wholeheartedly believe that. So, and I pretty much, let me see if I pretty much answered the question of the day. Let me see. For example, like I said, in my past, I did see people for who they were, not even acknowledging who they could come and become. But now that I am focusing on my own personal development, I have the ability, and I do see the potential in individuals, but if they're not accepting of it, then, they will have to, they'll come across or they'll become aware of their potential when they begin to see it. But it is my goal to inspire other individuals. It is my goal to share information. I try to share as much as I can, but when I get to a point where I meet individuals who they don't understand where I come from, then so each his own, So, but I will say I'm ending this with me myself. I started my personal development 2.5, almost 2 years ago, but I just recently started trying to improve, not trying, but I am improving on myself, and that is by answering the questions of the day. And answering these questions of the day, you get to understand yourself, or you get to, I get the opportunity to see other individuals' viewpoint, and I get the opportunity to improve on share my viewpoints. So I actually started doing my live videos back in December, and then that's when I realized that I wasn't doing them on a consistent basis. So now it is my goal, it is my vision for me to answer the questions of the day each day. And so I make a commitment to I'm blessed to wake up. I am blessed I stay prayed up, and I get ready, I wash up, and I show up. And that's what's important to me, is that I actually show up and I answer my questions of the day. And so that's for me to improve me. So other than that, I leave with a quote, and it says, and this quote is by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. So I end this on saying that even though I may not know or may not see the end, or I may not see the benefits of me doing my videos, but